Okay, I'm back, everybody, after a long hiatus. The Ashish Sports and Political Podcast is back and ready to roll. We are going to make this a daily show from now on, and that it's final. That's how it's going to be. We're going to make sure that the listeners get the best of me every single day, and that you get my sports takes and my political takes, no matter how much time it takes, because this is my job. Feed the people knowledge, information, opinion. You know, um, I got a voice, and you're gonna hear it, whether you like it or not. All right, so let me start with this. Let's go straight to the news of the day in sports. Yesterday was the opening day in baseball, and the Yankees went 6-1. I really don't care about all the other scores. Um, Houston won yesterday as well. That was expected. Um, but let me start with this. In basketball, whenever a super team forms, that is a star from another team joins a team with a collection of talent, aka Kevin Durant to Golden State, LeBron James to um, LeBron James to Miami, or you could even consider him going back to Cleveland as the same type of deal. Even in football, Deion Sanders goes to San Francisco, and then he goes to Dallas for 1 year, wins 2 Super Bowls there. You know, the sports world is all about talent accumulation, right? And making sure that the best players are always on one team, especially when you have the tradition, when you have the locale, when you have the money. Think about places like Boston, like LA, Golden State. You got Marquee, your locale is California, right? And now LeBron is different because LeBron made the super team in Cleveland. But places like Boston, New York, LA, Miami, those are where super teams are made. But there's a difference between super teams in basketball, super teams in football, and super teams in baseball. You know, the Yankees yesterday won 6-1. Giancarlo Stanton went 3 of 5, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. Aaron Judge went 1 for 1, another 2 RBIs. You know, why do you think it took Miami a year to gel? Why do you think Miami only went 2-2 in the NBA Finals? And that thing disintegrated within 4 years. Why do you think Kobe and Shaq only lasted 4 years, 2000 to 2002? Well, success only lasted for 4 years, 2000 to 2002. Because in basketball, because in football, super teams are, by definition, teams of super athletes. Teams of super athletes. We get attracted to it. We think they're going to win because it's a collection of talent. But in sports like basketball and like football, plays are called. Multiple people affecting the play at the same moment. 5 guys all on offense at that level wanting the ball. Only one's going to take the shot. In football, there's offensive linemen, but there's 3 receivers at a minimum and 1 running back, usually. They all want the ball as well. So you're playing with multiple egos, multiple personalities at the same time. That's what makes basketball and football dynasties so hard to maintain when you have a super team. Because you have 2 alpha males or more that want something that isn't really for the team. They can all say they want to win, but they all want their numbers. Everyone understands that, everyone realizes that. Kobe wasn't flourishing in the triangle system where Shaq was used. Shaquille O'Neal could score 40 points a game on a given night. Kobe Bryant could score 8 if he took the wrong shots. Everyone knew that offense should have run through Shaquille O'Neal. And we may say, looking back, that the Lakers were right in trading with Shaq. But that was only due to age. Kobe wasn't right in the moment. Yes, he became a star because he took control of his own destiny. He began to score the ball, as well as becoming a known defensive presence. But Shaquille O'Neal was a walking 30 and 10 every single night. If you wanted to sweat a little bit, he could score 40, 45. See, it's those egos that clash. Kobe Bryant, especially in that era, probably knew that when a guy can score 30 points in his sleep without effort, just because he was big and strong and fast, he knew that Shaq was the better option. But the ego, the alpha male in him wanted the ball, wanted the shots, and I think all of us would have felt that way if we were in his position. He got his way, he pushed Shaq out, he won championships later on. He's revered because of his hard-working attitude and his Mamba mentality. But the super team really didn't work well because it only really did work for 3 years. Let's remember that from 96 to 99, that Lakers team had good players. They didn't win. They only won 3 years. And then, after that short period of winning, they fell off. The Yankees dynasty with Derek Jeter and Alex Rodriguez, Joe Torre, ran from 96 to 2003. The level of success, the amount of sustained success, it stays in baseball. It doesn't occur in basketball. Now, You get players like Larry Bird and Magic Johnson who are unselfish, who are willing to sell themselves for the game because they love it. They're purists. And that's how the NBA survived in the 80s. Baseball and its concept of super teams is different. I know I went on a tangent about Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant, but that is a example of the type of individualistic approach that those players take on when it comes to their sport, because the amount of touches they get, the amount of opportunities they get on the floor depends on other guys, and you don't like that. You want to be in control of everything. And this is my point about baseball. You gotta understand, baseball is a game of 2-3 people. You can talk about fielding only one and how important it is. Yes, it's very important. But it's only important when the ball is hit. And if the ball is hit. In reality, there are 4 important people in baseball. The pitcher, the hitter, the catcher, and the ref. And you only have one person hitting at one time, and it's clear to most people who the best pitchers are in the world, and they start on MLB teams, and they go for 5-7 innings. So really, why do super teams work in baseball? Why are the Yankees poised to be so successful? Why do favorites make it to the World Series so often in baseball and sustain their level of success instead of dissipating within a few short years? It's because of this. Aaron Judge does not have a reasonable gripe against Giancarlo Stanton. Okay? Because Giancarlo Stanton, unless there is a mix-up of personalities in the locker room, does not affect the opportunities that Aaron Judge gets, does not affect the opportunities that anyone on the Yankees get. Gary Sanchez, Greg Bird, formerly Todd Frazier. Because baseball is a one-on-one game. Yes, the catcher is involved, but truly it is the pitcher versus the hitter. And you only have one hitter at a time. Aaron Judge is guaranteed to hit at least one time in a game, as well as Giancarlo Stanton, as well as anyone in the batting order. Except for the lower guys, obviously. That's not guaranteed, especially if teams strike out early. But, you know, baseball guys shouldn't fear about their numbers, because they'll get the opportunity to hit either way, especially if you're high up in the order. Aaron Judge hits third. Even if Stanton and Sanchez and Gigi, I think, they strike out. And with that many great hitters, you're not going to strike out. They're still going to get their chances to smack one out of the park, to hit a double, to land one in field. See, what happens in baseball is that even when you strike out, you need 3 strikes, 3 outs to get someone to change possession, per se. So, Aaron Judge is going to get his chances to swing. Gary Sanchez is as well. Gigi is as well. And, might I add, that success among the top order guys like a Giancarlo Stanton. Let's say he hits, let's say he gets base hits. That only makes the rest of the team happier because they're guaranteed to get a shot at hitting the ball. See, in baseball, because especially when you stack talent, more talent gives you more opportunities. Because if you're getting more hits, you have less outs, which gives teams the opportunity, players the opportunity to run and to hit pretty much however much they expect to, however much they want to. You want talent on your baseball team. Because not only do you win games, not only do you pile in runs, but you get more opportunities as well. And even if you strike out in baseball, there's 2 other guys waiting to hit. And even if they strike out, guess what? The next inning, it goes to the next guys, and the next guys, and the next guys, and then it just revolves like that throughout a game. So there's no worries about opportunities or playing time or responsibilities, because everyone's going to get their chances through the ebbs and flows of a game. What you really should be worrying about is winning. When you're all going to get the same crack at hitting a baseball. And that's what super teams do. What super teams do is add to your legacy. Because even though you may be great, if you don't have championships, you can still show that you're great. You can still show that you're one of the best in the world. You can win, you can have fun, you can be in the limelight, you can score your points, per se. You can check every box in baseball. But in basketball, it depends on your personality. In football, it depends on your personality. If you want touches and if you want to win because you have the touches, then guess what? That super team is not going to last. But in baseball, there's a much higher chance that it can because you're not sacrificing for the next guy. You're adding to your overall team depth, but you're not sacrificing for the next guy. You're adding to your legacy. And in egocentric sports like basketball and football, that just sometimes, and sadly, you don't add to your legacy. You may be trashing. But that's how we look at individualistic sports, where we look at stars and not teams. when a single player has to depend on 10 other guys to do their job right, or 4 other guys to do their job right. We look at their frustrations and say they're not willing to win. But when they join, they're not willing to win. But when they join good teams, we say that they don't want to win the hard way. So what do we prize? Production, statistics, or winning? And what do we put higher on the overall legacy chart? Because at the end of the day, the baseball guys always seem so much more happier than the football and basketball guys. And it only makes you wonder. Is it really worth playing for your numbers, for your wins, or do you just really just want to play to have fun? All right, that's good stuff right there. Mock draft, not necessarily a mock draft, but why the Cleveland Browns shouldn't take a star running back or trade for a star wide receiver with the number 4 overall pick. Kevin Durant gets mad again. We'll talk about that. As well as Ray Allen went on First Take. Great interview, by the way. Recommend watching it. What that means in regards to legacies in sports, along with Canelo Triple G, likely to be canceled, boxing's worst nightmare at the wrong time. This is the Ashish and Ryan Sports and Political Podcast, coming to you live from here in Ohio.